Did we lose the host?
It looks like it.
It looks something like that, sister.
You saw me and Bree was getting you on your picture.
Let me tell you something. You know everybody wondering where I am. I haven't told nobody where I am.
I know. I was like, she thinks she's slick.
Do you guys see us live?
Yeah.
Do y'all see us live? Check. Check 1, check 2. It says we're live, but I don't see it on my page.
Did you click your page that you wanted to go live to?
Yep. I picked all my pages. There's a bunch of pages that's supposed to be live too. But you guys don't.
No, I don't see it there yet.
Yeah, I don't
You don't see it on mine, but I see 3 viewers. But that could be y'all, huh?
Yeah. Or well, it's 4 of us though. So
who ain't live?
I'm trying to get there, sister. You know where
We're
I
there.
am. It's not good internet connection, so I'm trying to get.
You see me coming. You see me giving you the hand.
Right.
Oh.
Oh God.
It says we're live, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in there.
And I see somebody dropping off.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Let me go back and check.
What page are you streaming it from? Your
You know what?
church page or your personal page?
We're supposed to have been on both pages. So let me double check. It may be on the church page. Streaming. Nope, because it's just our prayer. It's saying we're live. Hold on, you guys. Let me double check. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're live. I see it. Let's go. Go ahead and share that, you guys.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. We're just sharing our pages. Sharing to our pages. I believe we're on Christ the King's page.
Yep, right.
All right, let's get it going. We are talking about Christian dating. Oh, y'all got to mute me. Christian dating in the modern world. Are y'all ready to talk about this? Are we going to have a real conversation today?
Let's have a real conversation.
Yeah. Are
Let's
you
go.
ready to have a real conversation?
Let's talk about it.
Let's go.
Let's talk about it. All right, so I want to introduce everybody. Of course, my name is Pastor Jay. Call me Pastor Jay. I am out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I pastor, the lead pastor of Christ the King Christian Fellowship. CTK, what's up? And we have to my right, I don't know if it's to y'all right, to y'all left, whatever, but we have Pastor Beverly Austin. Give it up, give it up, give it up. She is the assistant pastor out of Bethel Empowerment Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Give it up. Another Michigan girl. And then to her right, we have the healthiest pastor I've ever seen in my life. He always exercises, losing weight, building muscle, coaching shape. Every day, all day.
Crazy. I'm jealous.
Crazy. It's a life. It's a
crazy.
Life.
Look at the muscles though, y'all. Like, you know, I mean, yeah.
Don't do that.
The gun show.
Don't do that.
Give it up for Pastor Pettyway out of Detroit, Michigan. Bethel or Beth Eden Baptist Church. Give it up for the healthiest pastor in the world, period, hands down.
Bless you, God. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Yes, yes. And then underneath me, we have, I feel like the Brady Bunch right now. You know how they have.
Right.
So we have, Pastor Meshach, Walker in the house. Wait a minute, but I got to get this right, though. Let's learn about his church, though. His
Yes,
church
get that
is-
mic.
You got to introduce your church because there's too many names. Can you tell us your church, please, sir? Come on. Your church.
What is?
Yeah, we want the full name of your church.
Okay, you're breaking up just a little bit, but
Okay.
the full name of my
Yes,
church is
breaking up.
is Macedonia United American Free Will Baptist Church in
Yes.
Winter Garden, Florida.
Yes, give it up. And then
Winter
we
Garden.
have
Okay.
Yes.
And then
Orlando
we have
area.
the Orlando area. Then we have the beautiful, and she's trying to make us jealous because she says, "Can I go out to my patio and just film? Please." We have the lovely, beautiful Dr. Mercer with Dr. Mercer Ministries. So give it up for her, please. Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida.
Thank you.
Yes, we're jealous, but we're gonna try to keep that spirit of jealousy, like at bay right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our topics. So here is the question. Oh, we got somebody from Michigan that's tuning in. Okay, so here is the question. Here we go. So I want to talk about online dating. Woo! Online dating. So the question we're gonna start with is: would you online date, or have you online dated? Anybody chime in?
Okay.
Would you or have you? Truth or dare? Would you or have you?
Well, I guess I'll go first. I have.
It's bad connection out here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. So yes, I have done online dating, and I would. Okay. And I would do it again. My experience with online dating has really somewhat been the same with whether I met somebody in person or whether I ran into somebody at the mall or the grocery store. Online dating is good for those who really don't have the opportunity to get out as much. For me, me being a pastor, I'm in church a lot. And this was definitely, before COVID. So I'm in church a lot, or I'm at work. So there are times when I come home, unwind. I really can't get a chance to go out to the scene and the settings where you would meet somebody. So it's much easier to just grab your phone, go on one of the more appropriate dating sites, and look and see, and I have
You said appropriate. You said appropriate.
Because listen,
He slid
that in there. You slid that in there.
Because there are a lot of sites that are for different, whatever season you are in life, there's a site for that.
Yeah.
And so, then again, it's how you conduct yourself on any site, because you can get on a clean site and do bad things. So, I mean, it just really depends on, who you are as a person. So, to me, online dating it really hasn't been an issue. I know a lot of people say, people hide behind the keyboard, but we're living in 2020 now. We have cameras, we have FaceTime, we have video chat. So really, you can only hide behind something so long before you actually get a chance to see the person who's behind the screen. And even now, as we're in COVID, I think a lot of people are, going into online dating because you're really not trying to, go anywhere. There's really no scene or setting that would require a lot of people to gather together and meet each other. So I think the online dating, for me, when I was going through that was it was pretty good. And would I do it again? If I had to, I would.
Okay, so all good experiences. Ish.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're gonna meet crazy people online as well as you will face to face. You can run into somebody who, you really don't know who you're running into, whether it's online or if you run into somebody at the grocery store. If you meet somebody at a at a church conference, who somebody is will eventually come out, whether it's online or in person.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Now, what I'm gonna ask everybody to do is, when one person is talking, to mute it, because there's a lot of my phone is blowing up with a bunch of stuff. So just mute it if you're not talking, so that way we'll get better sounds. He said it may be on my end. Okay. So anybody else and their experience? We got to go back to the original question. I'm not sure if you answered it though, Pastor. Are you or would you do online dating?
Yes, I answered it. Yes, I said I would.
Okay. Welcome back, Dr. Mercer. Okay, anybody else? Come on, somebody got to jump in there. Who is either currently online dating, or you at least would be open to it?
Well, I am not talking because I'm married, so
I would. I'm single. I'm very single. I'm very single. And me personally,
what does that mean?
Because I wouldn't do it because of you don't know who you're going to meet. Online dating. I've had people say, "And try online dating," and I wouldn't do it for safety precautions and for safety reasons. It's not that I wouldn't take the risk. Maybe I'm just old school. That's just me. Maybe I'm just old school, and I prefer to meet him face to face. I prefer that we talk on the phone. We get to know each other. Ain't no spooky monsters. I mean, that's going to come out anyway, hopefully. But I just think that there's a certain place you get to in life that you want to take the front mystery out. And I'm just old school. I wouldn't do it because of the safety reasons. Just me. Just me.
So, well, I'm all in. I say yes, do it. Go for it.
I'm Carrie Cat. I wouldn't do it.
I have I've had online interactions. None of them have equated into actually going out on a date. But would I? Absolutely. And would I engage? I'm currently not engaging on any website, but I have, and I would, and I am single. But my thing about online dating is, with anything else, that you have to understand what it's used for. You have to engage in it to the degree to which you feel comfortable. And for me, I don't know how that person in my life is going to come next, and so I'm not going to limit any avenue whereby God would see fit to send that individual my way. And so, but I do. Well, to each his own. But I don't have a problem with it. I would do it. And at this point, it is what it is.
And I'm married, but when I talk to our singles, I look at it as a tool. I look at it as another tool, another way for singles to meet each other. I don't think it's no different than when sliding into somebody's DM on Facebook and Instagram. So I tell our singles, I feel like you have to take the same safety precautions on online dating as you do if you meet somebody in a grocery store. Don't go alone.
Absolutely.
Make sure somebody get that license plate number. Send us girlfriends a picture of that brother. So I feel like it's another tool. It just really gives you more, another tool. That's what I think. So.
Okay, can I say something?
And honestly, if you're crazy, I mean, you could be crazy online and crazy in person. I mean, what would really be the difference?
Because you're getting a representative anyway. You're getting a representative no matter
Correct.
who you meet.
Okay,
right. No one's gonna say, "Hey, I'm crazy."
Respond.
Huh?
Okay, like when they slide in my DM, I'm like, oh my God, who is this? I don't know.
Your
You know,
husband.
nobody on here knows me but Verily, but I want these people like, baby, find me. I mean, but I just don't want it to be online. I mean, just maybe that's the 50-year-old in me. I don't know.
Okay.
I tell singles at my church that God is, we pray for something and we want God to send us this and show us this, but we don't want to be in the places where where the blessing can come from. We want to restrict how it comes or how we receive. God is not sending a man UPS, right? He's not sending them FedEx. You need to be where the men are. If they're online, you have to be seen. You have to be noticed. And so you have to put yourself to be out there to be seen. That's my
again, I think
But I think Dr. Mercer, I think you said something. I think it's preference.
I think it's what?
Sure, yeah.
That's what I was about to say. I literally was about to say that.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have your preference. If you're not, you know what I'm saying? If you're not comfortable one way or another, if it's meant to be, God is gonna listen, what God has for me is for me, right? God's gonna make sure that the individual finds you where you are.
Gonna find you on the boat.
It is
in the ocean.
He gonna find you out there on that deck next to them waves that you making everybody jealous with.
On the rock, in the water, drinking my bottled water.
Right. Drinking your bottled
water.
I do think that it's something to be said.
Only drink water.
I do think it's something to be said about as we engage as Christians in sort of kind of dating and things like that, that we do have to be open to a move of God that does not come the way that we expect it to come. Absolutely. Right? The disciples mistook Jesus as a ghost when he was coming to them on the storm, and they almost missed his presence because they thought he was something that he wasn't. And oftentimes we can confuse things when God comes to us in ways that we were not expecting. And so we do have to open ourselves up to the possibility that God could send our blessing, whatever that blessing is. In the context of this, we were talking about dating, but that blessing in ways that we don't necessarily expect.
Sure.
But guess what, man of God? Guess what, Bishop? When Boaz found Ruth, she was working, she was serving, and she wasn't looking.
She wasn't, but he was.
Absolutely. So I believe there comes a time in a woman's life or in a man's life, I can just talk from a woman's perspective. It was all about, it was two choices. She had a choice, right? Oprah had a choice and Ruth had a choice. Oprah decided to go another way because by God's divine providence, if she hadn't gone the other way, then we wouldn't have had Goliath. And David and Goliath wouldn't have fought. Now, the other move of God that happened in the story is that Ruth needed to go with her. She thought she was going to serve her, and God had another plan. Sometimes as single people, we can't be our only voice. We have to really be sensitive to a move of God because, like you said, the direction of God may not look like God. But when you get there, you're going to find God. And I think sometimes as single people, we get hooked. This is just me, okay? I'm not going to go on a website and look for something that could be there for me. That's just me.
But she put herself into a different atmosphere, though.
Absolutely.
So, exactly.
So you know what I'm saying? So for those times, she put herself into an uncomfortable atmosphere, an atmosphere that was totally new.
Absolutely.
And I think in relating that to today, I don't think it's necessarily wrong I don't think a woman is looking to put herself into a different atmosphere.
That's what I was getting ready to say is me being placed is not online dating. Like I just had a conversation with some of my sisters. I was like, listen, I want to be around a whole other group of people. I want a whole nother status of people. So let's go here for my birthday weekend. Okay, it was uncomfortable. It was a stretch because I was doing something that I've never done before. So I put myself in another environment. So I think it is preference, and I believe that your preference, and we talk about the will of God being manifested in our life. You got to know if that's it. And I think, it's everybody. Yours may be, let me try here, let me try there, let me try here. And anybody that knows me, I'm like, that ain't God. This just ain't God for me.
Where do you meet people at?
Everywhere I go. I meet people. I go out. I go out and do different things. I travel, just not through preaching. But even where I am now, man of God, it was a stretch. It was like, you know what? It's going to cost us a little something, but to be around another group of people. So you seeing these men that you never would have met before if you wouldn't have been in this environment. Never class, never style. It's just me. And so I think, like sis just said, and like all of us agree, you have to try something different to attract something different.
Have you ever tried online dating?
Have I ever tried it?
Yes.
No, and I don't want to, brother. I don't want to.
So what about what you said? You're gonna try something new. Why haven't you tried that? I mean, because you're still single, right?
I'm very single.
Okay, so why don't you try another method then?
The reason being is because, number one, I don't like the idea of getting on a computer, putting your profile out there. It's just me.
You're on
because
a computer now.
Again, because of who I am, I don't want nobody to be like, I found Dr. Mercer. Look at Dr. Mercer on here with pictures. And
but they're on there. They can't say that. They're on there too.
I just, nah. Well, I just,
Dr. Mercer, Juanita gonna make a profile for you. Juanita got that look.
Even when I go out, I say,
that profile picture got to be like this. Like, that's what the profile picture got to be.
Because Pastor Juanita, you said that you're all in for it. So have you been on? You said you're for it, right?
Yes, I'm all in. Boom, let's do it.
You've been on it. So you've been on it. You like it? Do you? Yeah. I know other sisters have been on it, and they show me profiles they gone on date. I'm like, oh my God! Like, are you not nervous to do that? Are you not? You okay?
No,
it's just preference.
Let me tell you why, though. Let me tell you why. Let me say
you don't have
one
to
thing.
Post you don't have to post a raunchy picture. We're not. You don't.
I don't post raunchy pictures.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you go on these profiles, you don't have to. Because you just said, oh, you're posting that. I mean, it's not like you have to post. You in a two-piece. It could be a regular picture. Everything is not spiritual. There's a social side to all of us.
It's not.
So let me add this in there. So for me, I'm just an advocate of it because I feel like whatever I've wanted in my life, I'll have to go after it. So if I wanted to, when I wanted to go back to school, I had 3 little children, divorced. I was like, you know what? I want to go back to school. So I had to do my part to go to school, to get good grades, to get that degree, get several degrees. If I wanted to go for a job, I had to go put a resume together. I had to go, send it off. Whatever I want in life, I go after it. And so for me, dating, if that's what I, want a long-term relationship and possibly even marriage, then I have to go after. So that's my perspective, and I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make that happen. But I haven't had any bad experiences because before I go out on a date with somebody, I'm gonna get a chance to know them. So I've done it locally on, local dating, but I've also done the long distance thing as well. And either way, I get a chance to know that person before I make any real move toward them. So wait a minute. Speaking of pictures, can we talk about pictures? With long distance dating or even regular dating, even if you're in the same city, there's this thing now where people are sending pictures. What types of pictures are appropriate? And I know the answer 100%, but is there any room, a little wiggle room, if you're trying to attract somebody and you don't want to have the little turtleneck up, the little thing up, to your neck? Like, is there some leeway that still would be godly?
I know my brother will answer that. Go ahead, man.
Wait.
Come on, Muscle. Come on.
Come on, sir.
Come on,
Isaiah.
Come on, tempting us with the tight shirt on right now. Come on.
Come on, Muscle. Come on.
Come on.
Right.
The gun show.
You ain't right. You ain't right. You are not right.
And it's gotta be bright, all bright.
I know,
So
all scrumptious and stuff. My husband texted me like, "Don't get no."
I just feel like Beyonce need to be playing. My body is
I know.
doing
Okay.
Okay, great.
All right, then what were you saying, Muscle?
Now I gotta go do push-ups after this.
Oh my God. So
Right.
listen, I can't. I think so. I think that one of the problems in the church is that we have mistaken modesty as holiness, and they're not one and the same. And that there is something to be said about the physical body, that we are all people who are attracted to what we see. And so there's nothing wrong with presenting yourself or looking at someone else in a way that you are attracted to them physically. For me, I think the line is if you would not show this to people in general, you shouldn't be showing it to anybody that you're dating, and that's not a consistent commitment and constant commitment. But do you gotta be, sweater up to your neck and all? I don't think that is necessarily a line that we have to tote. But I do think that you have to decide, one, what's appropriate for you, and then two, you shouldn't do anything. For me, I'm not going to share anything with somebody who, if it goes beyond me, I'm going to be ashamed of it. That I'm going to sit somewhere in shame that was shared outside of the context of that individual. So I'm not going to share that. Now, if you're married or I think that those kinds of things get to be a bit different. Yeah, I think
when you talk about
get
pics,
to be a bit different.
So when you talk about pics, can we explain what type of pics you're talking about, Pastor?
Like, for example, you know what I'm saying? I hate that I'm about to use this example because I just got a feeling y'all about to get again. But like, I spend a significant amount of time in tank tops. Like, tank tops and shorts. So I'll send a picture to somebody, and so my chest is up, my arms out, whatever. That's me. But again, I wouldn't be embarrassed by that if one of my church members so. My church members do see it because they follow me on social media, right? So that's something that I would share with the world. With I can't speak from a female's perspective, but I would think, if you got on a cute fitting dress and you want to send that to somebody and let them know you look good, I don't see a problem with that. I think it has to be within your comfort zone and that which you would be embarrassed by.
And this is the person we're talking about, the person that you're dating,
I agree with that,
or that you're in a relationship with, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your thought, Mishat?
I do. I agree. I agree with Pastor above me. That if you're in a committed relationship, with somebody, and it's almost, you really can't define unless it's a nude what really is appropriate or inappropriate to the person that you're with. So if she sends me a picture, who's to say that it's inappropriate? What is really inappropriate, other than obviously a nude pic? And even if if you and I are dating, and okay, before I finish, we already know that certain things are wrong, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm advocating for sending nude pics or anything like that.
Meshach, I got your back. Go ahead and go out there. I got your back.
I think that's what you want to say. I think that's what you want to say.
No, that is not what I want to say.
You better clarify.
I think you
clarify. There'll be a sound bite.
Yeah. So if I am dating someone and we have gotten that comfortable with each other, and I'm not going to speak for y'all, but I think the majority of people have sent a picture that if it got out, it would be embarrassing, or it would be it would be demeaning to them. But I think we've all sent those type of pictures to people that we have dated. we are living in 2020, and if you are really at this point 30 and up, you sent a risque picture before.
Yeah.
But you need to make sure that when you do this, that you are with somebody. And my grandfather always used to say, never mess with anybody that doesn't have as much to lose as you do. You need to make sure that you trust the person that you are sharing this personal and private moment with. We can argue all day if it's right, it's wrong. We know as Christians what's right and wrong, what we should and shouldn't do. We've all been on the end of, when I tried to do what was good, evil was always there, right? We love to say that to justify what we do, but we've all been there. We've all been there. So if it's warranted at the end of the day, really, if it's warranted by your partner and y'all are cool with it, that's between y'all two. And it really should only be between y'all two.
So are we saying after all of that?
And I'm leaving that alone. That's it. I'm done. I ain't got nothing to say about it.
Nothing else. Okay.
What were you gonna say? Somebody's gonna say something?
Yeah. Beverly.
That's what we're saying.
Say it again.
So are we saying no naked pics? Is that what we're saying? Is that naked pics is inappropriate? Everything else is free game. Is that what we're saying?
I think it depends on the nature of
no body parts.
I think it depends on the nature of where your relationship is.
What are we saying? What are we saying?
Because listen,
I do think
so. Let me so when you're with somebody, so when you're in a relationship, do you even talk about this? So is it what if I just send you one randomly out of the blue? I mean, or is this something that you guys discuss? Is this women? When you women are out on the beach, you'll send your man. You're out in a two-piece. You send that to him, to him, or especially to other people. That may be risque to him, depending on how he feels about it's really about what the feeling is behind the picture that you send. Because if you send me a two-piece and I'm turned on or I'm aroused by that, that may be risque. You can send me a picture with you in a turtleneck. I may think turtlenecks are turn on.
Right.
Okay.
But
that's all.
Go ahead, Ann.
Well,
but you know what's crazy is when we talk about inappropriate pictures, it's always about the woman.
No, that's what I was saying. That's why I use myself as an example
because we don't have that much inappropriateness on us. I mean, what can reveal
since we're talking about it.
These tight pants y'all have that squeeze you in between crotch and
they're called nut huggers.
No.
Or for example, gray sweatpants, right? The whole gray sweatpants movement.
But see, listen. The gray sweatpants movement is something that y'all came up with. We just wearing gray sweatpants,
bruh.
Well, go ahead. I'm trying not to leave you out there by yourself, be Shaq. But go ahead. I gotta tell you, I do think that that's part of the thing too. Is that when we do have conversations like this, I do feel like it's the modesty factor is played up for women and downplayed for men, and I believe that that's why it can't be that. It has to be this factor of what's most comfortable for you. And so I do think that there are things that men do naturally that can cause a woman to necessarily feel some kind of way. Gray sweatpants, workout. I work out and work out attire, and I post pictures. So
we know you told us in the last comment that you worked out with tank top.
Dr. Mercer, don't do me like that. So my point though is that any person viewing anything can find attraction in whatever they find attraction in. It doesn't matter whether what you have on in the picture, they can find attraction in that. And so for me, it's much more what are you comfortable with? What is the nature of your relationship and your engagement with the person you're engaging with? Can you trust them? And if that's the case, that's your business. And do you?
But I think too, it depends on the relationship. You said, I'm sorry, sis. Go on.
Go ahead.
I think it depends, like we've said, it depends on the relationship. You know, when people show you who they are, you trust all of it. And you got to be in a relationship with somebody, you know, that has you and you have them.
Right.
Now, something say, you know, we've all have sent risky pictures or whatever. I've never done that. I'm sorry. So maybe I'm just they be like, Ann, send me a picture. Nah, you send me a picture. You know, I play.
So you've asked for a picture?
I play chess. When they've asked me, and send me a picture. No, you send me a picture. No, I need you send. No, I'm a chess player, and the queen is the most powerful on the board. If you don't send me one,
send you a picture though, you don't send one back.
No, I ain't gonna send you nothing that you get. I got a bullet in the chamber. I'm sorry. Say whatever you want to say about it. I don't do it. So listen, I've sent pictures that, like, I may have on a swimming suit. I may have on, like you said, it just depends. But naked or in my panties and bra or in my pictures of my private part, I'm not doing that. For one, I'm not married, and I just think some things need to be left to the marital relationship. What you gonna have, what kind of excitement we gonna have when we get married. I think there's just some things you don't, just me, this is me, that I'm not gonna overstep, because if I give you that and we don't go any further, then I've just given you that's something I want to share with somebody who has the possibility to be my husband. And I'm not going to.
But if you've had premarital sex and you've had exes, you've given them something that they've had, and you moved on.
When you get
They've
older,
seen it, felt it, touched it.
When you get older, you do different. And now that I'm here in this space in my life, I'm not going to give a man some parts of me that I'm holding for my mate or for my dude or for whatever we gonna be. I'm not gonna you picture, you get a picture, you get a picture, I'm just not that chick. And so so by the time you give everybody a picture, they done saw your tits, your behind, your private part. Like my twins say, what the hell in the world? They done seen everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they seen all.
Wait, I'm still confused. Wait, y'all, this is the married lady. What are we saying? Okay, listen.
Now, if you married, do it.
I got a question. I got a question.
But if you married, you good. You can send whatever you want.
You good.
Send
it back.
Listen, Linda, listen. What I'm asking is, this is my question, so I know how to talk to the singles. Okay, what I'm hearing. Help your girl. So what I'm hearing is, because like if you're at the beach and you got a swimsuit on, and you didn't work hard on your body, and you at the beach, and everybody else at the beach get to see your body, and you dating, and you worked hard on your body. All I'm asking, I'm dating you. I worked hard on this body. I done lost this gut. You know,
Bae, look what I'm working with.
I'm just asking the group. Are we saying that it's inappropriate to send my boo a pic of me in my bikini? Everybody else at the beach get to see it, and he my boo. I worked hard on this body.
Okay. So
I'm not saying that.
Okay,
I'm not saying that either.
Wait a minute. So now I want to go around so we can all be clear, and then we're gonna go on to the next one. So we'll start with me. Do I think that you should be able to send your boo thing? Now this is your boo thing. This ain't nobody you just like, whatever. This is your boo thing. Can you send him a risque picture? My answer is absolutely yes. YES. Yes, you can. But I don't think necessarily a naked picture or anything like that. But to your point,
I said bikini.
I'm cute. I'm on the beach. I'm taking a picture. Now, why he ain't on the beach with me, I don't know. But, whatever. That's a whole nother story for another day. But I feel like I can send him a picture. And I think that's appropriate if he's my boo. That's my opinion. Beverly, what's your opinion?
I'm asking y'all. Y'all helping me.
Okay.
I think it's okay.
Isaiah,
I'm a bikini. I'm not saying naked. I'm just saying a bikini that you're already wearing out in public. That's all I think that's appropriate.
I think it's appropriate.
Or if you're a guy, because again, we don't want to limit this to women. If you're a guy and you on the beach and you got on your, your shorts, and you look good, send your pic. No, I do not think that there's a problem with that. I think in all things you have to operate with wisdom. But again, to your point, and I see you work very hard to maintain and look that way, and it's okay to be proud of your body and proud to share that with somebody who you're sharing space and time with in that way. So no, I don't find that to be an issue.
Okay. Dr. Mercer?
No, I don't think it's an issue. I have a lot of them in my phone. I took today. I was on the beach with my swimsuit. I don't think it's a problem. I think it is. I think it's just building relationship and just getting to know each other in a very vulnerable way, in a very personable way, very romantic way. I think it's you learning your partner in another intimate fashion. And then you may date somebody that doesn't wear a bathing suit. They're on the beach with a t-shirt on and the t-shirt gets wet. And to their man, that's, babe, you turning me on, babe. When you coming back? Or babe, I want to see you. Or where are you? Let me fly you over. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like all of us have said, again, what one person says inappropriate, another person may think it's not. So I think sending naked pictures, I don't agree with that. That's just me. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't think it's wisdom.
No,
but
that's not wisdom. Naked pictures are not wisdom.
But you have on, you have your little get 'em girl shorts, so your little get 'em girl, little outfit. Hey, why not? Keep him wanting you. Keep him. Listen, he ought to be so into you. Just like, what I gotta do, babe? What I gotta do? That just what I have to do. So that's my take.
Okay, so next we're gonna talk. We're getting kind of, we're almost done at the end of it. But this is what we're gonna talk about next.
Wow. Okay.
So I want y'all to breathe really quick, gather your thoughts, and we're gonna be right back. Okay, have y'all breathed? Y'all got your minds right?
Yes.
Oral sex.
Yeah.
Do y'all have some water over there? Can I have some water? All right.
My husband said that he can't find you.
Huh?
My husband said that he can't. My husband said you must have your privacy settings on because he said he can't watch.
I don't know. I'll check on it. Let's start this.
Okay.
This dialogue. So the reason why this question came up is because as I talk to young people in my church, I have quite a bit, and they really in their heart they don't believe that oral sex is really sex. I want to know what you think. Since I think y'all being very open and honest, what's your thought on that? Help these people out. Anybody there? Oral sex, is it really sex or is it not?
So I am an educator by profession. Was a teacher and most recently a principal of a high school. So I deal with kids in this discussion often. And it honestly comes from a belief of the definition of what sex is, right? And in the context of punishment, actually, from the law. Sex being punishable by intercourse, actual in exchange. And so there's been sort of kind of this derivative of that to believe that anything else outside of intercourse is not sex, right? But I would answer that, say that oral sex is indeed sex. It's not intercourse, but it is a sexual act that is shared between people in an intimate way, of course, obviously, right? And so it is a sexual act. It is not by definition sex in the sense of it being intercourse, but it is indeed a sexual act, and therefore should be accompanied by the same wisdom that you would engage in with having intercourse. That it's not something that you should choose to do willy-nilly. Like it's not. Because the same things that can occur to change your life with having intercourse can also happen with sex. You can't oral sex, you can't get pregnant, but there are diseases that can be transferred by skin-to-skin contact, right? And so there is a wisdom that comes with all sexual interactions, whether we're talking about intercourse or not. So by definition, it's not sex because it's not sexual intercourse, but it is a sexual act. So therefore should be governed by the same principles of wisdom, I would say.
Okay. What the rest of y'all think?
I mean,
Shaq?
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Beverly.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Shaq.
Oh, thank you.
Shaq.
Why? Thank you. Yes, oral sex is sex. As my brother stated, it is, it's a sexual activity. You're doing something, getting some sort of sexual gratification behind it. So yes, oral sex is definitely sex.
Okay. Dr. Ann?
I agree with what they said.
Okay.
Add nothing, take away from it. I agree.
Okay. Beverly?
I say the same thing. It's no, I don't, to have your face that close. Yeah, it's definitely sex, and probably a little bit more intimate, I would say. So,
yeah.
I think it's a definite intimate thing. Okay. All right. So next question that I have for you, we're going to go back to online dating. So let's say you're doing a long distance. How does it all look when let me take this oral sex down. Let me just take that down. What does it look like when you fly into that town? Let me take this. Let me hurry up and take this down, y'all. Hold on.
Please.
Fly into that town.
I'm getting distracted.
Okay. You can't listen to the next question. Let me take it down. Hold on. Let's go back. Woo.
Oh, I love it.
Gee.
Oh, no.
There we go.
This is where I wanted to go.
I'm getting distracted.
We don't need to be distracted in this hour, nor this season. Do we need to be distracted? By too much. All right. This is actually what we were talking. Is this it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Dating a non-boss or bae. So all of us, by most people's standards, we're bosses in one way or another because we're running our own ministries, running our own churches, so on and so forth. How does it work? Or has anybody ever dated someone who was not that same sort of status? And I'm not talking about necessarily being a pastor, but being, everyday folk. And how did that work? And what advice would you give someone if you're dating someone and they are not a boss? What advice would you give them?
Well, I guess I go. So if you're dating someone that may not have the same position, or you guys are the same, I guess status or hierarchy, for me, they would just have to understand my position, and they would have to understand, what my schedule details, because one of the things is that when you're dating a boss, there's a lot of time issues that the other person could feel. You're too busy. You're too in the spotlight. You're always gone. You're always busy. And I think for men, men should always be bosses, especially in this day and age. Women will not have an issue if her man is a boss. At least I don't think any woman will have an issue, that their man is the boss, that their man is making more money, that their man is busy. Now, not too busy for them, because women, from what I've experienced and what I've seen, is that women love men that have some sort of power, or some sort of prestige, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let me just say that there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be a senior pastor. You don't have to be the CEO of a company. But if you have a little bit of power, you could be the head janitor of a company. But the fact that you got all the keys to the rooms, you're a boss, right? You got some power. And women love a man with some sort of power, in status, as long as she understands what his role is, and there's no competition. as long as both parties are understanding, what your role is, what your responsibility is, what your job is, I don't think it's a problem, or it shouldn't be a problem rather.
Shaq, I'm
Isaiah?
trying to stay support. I'm trying to stay with you, man. But uh, you know, some experiences are different. I have
Hmm.
met women who don't want a man that's in all of that, and want a man that have a job but go to work and come home. I don't want
Hmm.
you having a lot of other stuff, because at the end of the day, what we have in the context of us should be enough for you. And
Hmm.
so I've experienced that. And I think more so for me, to answer the question, you have to define what you want in a relationship. If and it's whatever you want is okay. If you want to, if you a boss, those terms drive me crazy. But if you're a boss and you want to date another boss, that's something you desire, then you need to prep yourself for what comes with that. Because if that's what's
Right.
going to come, that then you guys are going to have you're going to have to make sure you're intentional about time. You're going to have to make sure that there's not this level of competition where you're now in the household, you're fighting because your class, you got two A-type personalities coming in like, I'm the boss. Like, how do you make that work? So if you want a boss,
Hmm.
you got to prepare yourself for what happens when you have someone who in whatever way is your equal. If you subsequently say, I don't need that, I'll be the boss, then you have to prepare yourself and prepare them for what comes with that. So that might mean that you got to be okay with me not being home. You got to be okay with me having a level of popularity and engagement with people that's outside of the context of our interaction, our engagement. And so my advice would be, one, know what you want. Like, don't go into an interaction not having reflected on what you want out of interaction and what you want from another person. If you don't want a person who's about their business, running stuff, whatever, be open and honest about that, because whatever you want is okay. So the first thing is, be honest about what you want. Two, count the cost of what it is to get what you want. So if I want a boss, okay, then I'm gonna have to be good with the fact that it might they might be canceled because something might happen, and boss got to go be bossy. Like, I got to be okay with that, right? And so that would be my advice. One, define and know what you want, and then two, count up the cost of getting what you want when you are either choosing to be a boss or choosing not to.
I agree. Okay, how about this question, real quick? Can two bosses coexist?
Of course,
They can.
because you guys are in a
Tell me.
competition with
I
each other.
think it's all about everybody knows their place, but a real woman, I'm listening to both of my brothers, but okay, prime example, I was dating this guy and he was a boss. He's a boss in a whole nother way, right? But I'm comfortable with you being out of town or you having to do. I'm one of these women where I trust you as long as you give me a reason not to.
Mhm.
As long as you make, we're safe, as long as we're good. A woman wants to be covered. She wants to feel safe. She wants to be provided for, and she wants to be protected. So I want you, even in your being busy, let me know I'm a priority. And then women who are bosses, we can run our companies, we can travel all around the world, but I'm gonna let that man know, baby, ain't nothing coming before you. And you're my priority. Won't you go with me? Or let me push you. A woman who's a boss will never be intimidated by her man being one, because as long as she's one, she also recognizes that I got to push him, and she don't have no problem with that. So if I need to be, if and him the same way. Nah, babe, listen, you go there, you make your money, or babe, you go do this. Listen, I'm gonna go do this, and we'll partner back up. We'll meet back up. I think it's just about having a conversation and understanding. Yes, there's a consequence, and a woman that say, babe, you doing too much. You doing too much. What we have right here. and some women have to deal with their insecurities and their rejection and their abandonment issues. And like a lot of women, some will make a man try to fill in places and voids that he has nothing to do with, and vice versa. And I think when you are comfortable with who you are and you're doing what you're doing and you love it, and he's saying that you love it and I'm saying that he loves it, babe, you can have those conversations with each other, and neither one of you will be intimidated by each other's lives, because at the end of the day, you're boss in that world, I'm boss in this world, but together we're partners in this right here, and we can build this right here, because when we go out there, we got to be unified. It can't be this is your word side, this is us, and nothing should take priority or precedence over us. So I think two bosses can coexist. It's just having a conversation and having an understanding. I know your world. I know what you do. Just don't disrespect me. And the same here, so.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's just prioritizing each other. And I think that's where it gets tricky, is when you got two bosses, both people have to be really committed to prioritizing the other person, because it's super easy to get, so engaged in what you have going on that you almost forget that person. I mean, it could go on for hours on end, and you're just like, oh man, I haven't even talked to him, or I haven't even texted him, or I haven't this, or I haven't that, because you're so involved in your life. So I think it's like, it can happen, but both people have to definitely prioritize the relationship and the growth of the relationship.
I agree.
Anything else on that subject? And then we're done, y'all. How do y'all feel? Did we help the people today?
I'm getting ready to go have dinner on.
I think so.
I think we did. We gave him some.
This was
nuggets
fun.
And
yes, we did. Yes, we did. We need to do another one to teach single people how to live, because a lot of people don't experience life as they feel like they need another partner to experience it. And I think I said this today. Many singles, if they would expose themselves to other, avenues of living, and because I know some single people have never been out of Jacksonville or never been out of Florida, because they're waiting on their mate, and I think the more you expose yourself to, the better, conversations you can have. We can talk about the White House, we can talk about the ghetto, we can talk about, I just think it's just having a conversation. So I applaud you, Julia, for even having this open conversation and dialogue about being single. But it's a new America, and and
I just want to jump in as a married person. Is we have to teach singles how to date for compatibility, and a lot of people are dating, but they aren't trying to make sure that we're compatible. So it's not about even just feeling you or thinking you dope, but are we really compatible? Do our purposes align? Right. And so going back to that boss question is really defining what a boss is, because I may not be bringing in all the money, but I'm super organized and I can help rock with you. So I'm a boss because our purposes kind of align together. And so I think that communication and that understanding, but each person has to know their identity. And that's the part that I think for singles is knowing who you are, so that you're going into that thing real confident in yourself, so that if he is a boss or you are a boss, you all complement each other. So dating for compatibility. So that's one of the key things.
All right, we're gonna have one more question. I want y'all to stand by, and this is the question. It's gonna help people. Social media is big. When do you're single, you've now found your boo thing. When do you change your relationship status? Think about it.
After the wedding.
Oh, hold your point, sir. Hold your.
Go ahead.
We'll be back. All right. We already heard Shaq's opinion, but we're not listening to him. We're done with that. Can I mute him? Let me mute him. Let me see. How can I mute? Okay. What are you talking about? Seriously, because I feel like this. I feel, to me, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you truly are dug in with them, like this is beyond just conversation, like y'all straight dug in, why would you not want to change your status?
Can I explain my answer?
Yes. I don't know.
Okay.
Do I want you to? Let me roll my eyes at you, but go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, I was kind of being funny, but I was also kind of serious too. When I say after the wedding is because at the end of the day, you really just don't know what's. I mean, you could be in a relationship with somebody for a year and a half. You guys are in it. You guys are committed. It's just y'all two, and then God forbid something happens, you break up. Then you got to take the status down. You got to take the pictures down. Then you meet somebody else 6 months later. Oh, you posting them, and you're a serial poster now, and everybody knows you dated.
I love it.
You dated 3 or 4 people.
I love
in
it.
a time frame, and nothing is official until you're married. I don't care if it doesn't matter. Nothing is official until you are married. So why put yourself out there? They be like, dang, every time I see her, she with another man. Every time I see her, she posting. Every time I see him, he with another. And then as pastors, we definitely don't want that reputation. Like, dang, he was just with sister so and so. Now he got sister Watermelon on his page now. It's like, why?
I think it's just better to move in silence. I just think, why you put, you and him know you good.
Yeah. What are you trying to prove? Because you can easily just tell somebody, I'm with somebody, I'm dating somebody. You don't have to, I saw somebody that, they're just dating and they both share a Facebook page. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why? Why is that necessary?
Yeah.
I think that part of it too, especially with the whole status changing, is that it welcomes a level of interaction in your business that people really don't need. And you, especially when you're dating, like even when it gets serious, you're still building your interaction with this person, and if you invite that kind of scrutiny and attention in, because people, let me tell you something. People are gawkers. Like, they follow stuff.
They're vicious.
I went through a divorce. I was married before, and it was not public. Like, we didn't blast each other on social media or anything like that. My ex-wife is an amazing woman. We respect each other. We have a kid together. So it was very intentional that we didn't want to do anything to disrespect each other. So I didn't make any public announcement or anything like that. It was literally, I posted a picture one day and I had on my wedding ring. I posted a picture a week ago. A week later, my wedding ring was gone. And then questions started flying. Who is he? And I'm like, how would you even notice that? Like, I didn't even think that was a big deal. And it just invites too much attention unnecessarily. And so I agree with Shaq. Like, if we about to get married, then okay. That's the thing. But up until then, I'm good.
And then a lot of time it messes the other person up, because again, we live in a day where people are looking up somebody. I can post that I'm in a relationship with the Watermelon. Guess what they're doing? They are going to go look up Sister Watermelon's page.
Absolutely.
And somebody who knows Sister Watermelon is gonna come back and be like, brother pastor, let me tell you about Sister Watermelon. Yeah. She used to do this. She used to be with this person. She used to do that. And then now it causes tension because and it causes a situation where now, dang, you out there now, and people are looking at you. They're scrutinizing you. They're bringing up stuff. And before we can even build a solid foundation to now where I can combat what's being said about you, we're falling apart because we're arguing about what somebody said on Facebook.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's good. By the way, I will say I 100% agree. I one time posted a picture and it was the talk of the town on a picture I posted, and it was completely unnecessary. And I ended up having to delete the picture because it was so much rumors from one little picture of me out with a person and another couple.
Yeah.
And so I ended up deleting it, and I just felt so bad. And so my stance on it is, I agree. It's definitely not worth it. The other person, you're putting them, you're throwing them into the wolves, and they're sitting there going, I didn't sign up for all this. Like, this is not what I want. And unfortunately, you just kind of throwing them to the wolves. So it's probably best, unless you are married, to kind of keep those things to yourself. I agree. Now, but that's for us. Do you think, though, for a regular person that's just living a regular life, that would be necessary? Could they change their status?
I'm with Dr. Mercer.
It's
Move in silence. Move in silence. That's just the principle in life that I think is best in general. Because when you advertise your move, people coming for it. Like, move in silence. Like, I think that in this era of social media where we share everything, that's the problem. We share everything. You don't have people need to know your relationship status. Like,
right.
live your life and let that be what it is until it becomes necessary for you to share parts of your life that you want to share with people. Move in silence, regardless of what your status
so is that
is
an
or your
agreement?
position.
Is that so when you're is that an agreement that you would have with your partner then, so that they don't care too?
Yes. Yeah.
We just have that conversation that we're not going to share.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
But what if they don't agree? I'm sorry, I'm just wondering though. But what if they don't agree and like they want to share you and brag? This is just the conversation that I get into.
Let's talk about what that looks like though. Let's talk about what that looks like, because I'm not asking you to hide me either. Like, I'm your little secret. I ain't trying to be a secret, you know what I'm saying? But let's talk about what that looks like. Like, let's talk about what our representation to the world of our relationship looks like, and then we can come to an agreement about that we can compromise on. But I just don't think that it necessarily has to be all on social media every day. Me and my boo, like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Sometimes people post because they try to prove something. I mean, I got somebody. I ain't lonely. I got a boo. And so it's. I mean, you get there, and then like you said, what does I think Pastor Austin, you said something about the other person. Is this something you talk about? And if the other person doesn't agree, and I'm saying this based off of my experience, so no one get offended, please. 9 times out of the 10, what I've experienced is that women will tend to want to make that request known before a man. Now there are some instances where a man will say, "Babe, please post me," but 9 times out of 10, it's the women who kind of
Bishop Walker,
because they want to, they want to show other women that he's taken, because the man is not hiding you, but yet he hasn't said anything, and so you want to see if it's real. You want to see if somebody's gonna come out on him if he posts you. Why is he not posting you? Is he trying to hide something? Is somebody gonna inbox me if I post him? Why is he? And so it goes back to that. But I think that if you guys talk about it, and if it's a really legit reason why, if he just wants to be private, and I say he because 9 times out of 10 it's mostly women who push for this. It's because he's just a private person, and it's the truth. You guys can shake it.
I mean, it's not
so
you're negative.
There are some men that feel that way. Why don't you post us? Have you posted us yet? Are you ashamed of me, bruh? There's some men out there that ask the same question, and it goes back to like you asked for just regular old single life people. Everybody have a certain level of influence. If it's in your family, with your children, your community, on your job, or whatever. And I think when you're in a leadership position, you have to have that conversation. Listen, I'm not hiding you. I am this is how I feel. Introduce them to the people that matter, and who you want to be accountable.
I don't even do that. I am hiding certain people. Well, yes, I am.
The people that matter, whoever your circle is, whatever you want to do. You're not a secret, but I know the moment I put you out there, you're going to have extra friend requests. People going, it just, let's protect us. Let's build solid and silent. Let's build until we're ready to let the world know, because listen, once it's out there, we're going to deal with a whole nother level of issues. So let's have this conversation. And like Pastor Petway said, what does exposing us look like to you? Because we need to know and be on the same, on the same agreement of how much we're going to put out there. But I just believe feel solid and just feel solid and silent. Just
Dr. Mercer, I need you to know I'm going to quote you in a sermon. Tell the people to be silent and silent. I'm quoting that in the sermon. I just want you to know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Silent and solid.
That's good. But how do you deal with the critics though that say, well, if you you shouldn't be in something if you got to keep them silent or keep it secret, and all these things that you hear when you're trying to keep your relationship away from the people, because for whatever reasons you decide you don't want to be public with that relationship. Because I feel like as a pastor, people want to push you to expose your relationship.
Yeah,
because they're nosy.
They should know, right? And so,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say what Shaq said. It's because they're nosy. Like that's a response. And it's a response to someone who's more interested in what's going on in your life than they are yours. I'm not concerned about who you're in a relationship with because I'm too busy trying to get mine right. So I'm not worried about that. Go do you. Like what people want to know when they are being nosy, and then that makes me question your agenda. Because why do you want to know who I'm dating so bad? Why are you in my business like that? So then it makes me look at you because it makes me feel like you're coming with an agenda. So that's just how do you handle that criticism? You ignore it because that's that they have an agenda, and you watch. That's the watch and pray. That person you watch and pray because they got an agenda. They got an agenda.
And 9 times out of 10, they got nobody themselves. So ignore them. Don't worry. Who cares what they say?
But it doesn't stop.
Somebody and they're miserable, and whoever they're with, they're miserable. So they got to kind of just like, so they with somebody, but they're completely miserable. That's why they always up in your business trying to figure out who you with, who you kicking it with. It's like, go worry about your own husband, please, ma'am. Go worry about your wife, sir. Like, get out of my business. Right. But people want to put that pressure on you. And when you won't tell them who you're with, then they want to start a scandal. Oh, well, she ain't saying it because of this. Or he ain't saying it because of that. And it's like, first of all, you don't even know what you're talking about. That's the first problem. That's the first problem.
I don't think you have to explain it.
You don't even have to do Pastor Juanita. You don't even have to do all that. You don't have to do all that.
I just feel like we give people too much. We answer too much. Why are we having this conversation? Yeah, because what's understood don't need to be explained. Yeah. I live by this rule: stay a mystery. Stay a mystery.
I love it.
Think. I don't have to compete about what. I don't have to compete with what you think. When you know who you are and you know what you're doing, and there are a certain circle in my life knows my movement.
Yes.
Everything else, I don't care. Because being single, you have to be accountable. But I don't have to let you know my business. You want to be inside because you want to know, is the stuff that they told you, is it true?
Yes.
Yep.
But that doesn't change even when you get married.
Right.
Those are the same principles and things you have to live by in your singleness that you have to carry when you get married.
Help us.
Right. So it doesn't change. It doesn't just suddenly change. And so if you don't guard yourself and guard your relationship in your singleness, you don't suddenly get married and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And so those are things and disciplines you have to exercise in your dating, in your singleness, that this right here is protected. This right here, there's a fortress right here. This man right here, I guard all this right here.
I feel the Holy Ghost when you're talking.
Those are disciplines you have to start in your dating. We don't fool with this right here.
Right. Yeah. We don't even touch this. We don't even touch this.
Yes.
I think, it's just some conversations we're not having.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's the way you as a person, even before you meet somebody, people know who to play with.
Yeah. There you go.
And they know what to touch and who to touch. And then, some people are nosy, and then there are some people that genuinely love you and want you to be happy. Mm-hmm. So I think, you just got to know the intent of the person. And like Sissy said, you got to guard yourself as a single, that when you get married, and I have these conversations because of I think especially single women, you have these conversations you have to have with yourself, and you have to have with people that you trust to say, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing this. And don't move outside of those limitations, because if you do, you'll open yourself up to something you're not ready to deal with. Yeah. Shut up, Ann. Shut your mouth, Ann. But it's just some things you shouldn't do. Put it that way. Yeah. And it's just certain things I'm not even gonna talk to you. I'm a mystery. And that's why you're trying to figure out what I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we having that conversation?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this has been good. Y'all, what y'all think about part 2?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love it. I'm in.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. We're gonna
Well,
play.
somebody said I was wrong. They
I'm
said
wearing all black next
somebody in the
time.
comments. Somebody in the
What
comments said you are wrong, Dr. Ann.
Oh, why they say that?
They said people don't hide jobs, they don't hide family, they don't hide kids. Why hide a relationship? They hide it because they want to keep their options open. That's not true. That's just a person that deals with their own
disagree.
And that's insecurity. That's an insecure
that
person.
is
completely
insecure.
That's an insecure
His name
person.
was
I'm
Joe
sorry.
Perez.
That's
That is
insecurity.
insecure.
And
if you ain't ready,
and if a person is wise, if a person is wise, they're not sharing the family, they're not sharing their job, they're not, because again, that's the problem. We're in a culture where all of a sudden everything is supposed to be public. No, yeah, me sharing my job can cost you. I was thinking about somebody posted, I'm going out of town. If somebody want to rob you and they know that you're not home and you just put all that out, like, what are we doing? Like, no, that's the problem. We have created a culture of necessity of sharing all of that stuff. So then we think that if you don't fit in that, something is wrong with you. No, it's too much. Some information is meant. I'm not overly sharing stuff. You need to pull back some so that you can have something that's yours and other people don't have invitation to be in.
But you all just said something. We're talking about social media. You all didn't say hide them from your family, hide them from your. You said social media.
Posting them on social. Right.
He said,
social media is to
I was speaking to your thoughts about social media. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to post about my man on social media until we're ready.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like you just need to protect y'all.
Yes.
Like you said, you build a fortress around this, because when we come out, we're gonna already deal. But guess what? We're gonna laugh while we dealing.
We're gonna laugh.
We're gonna laugh at them. Cause we built.
And we gonna rock together. And I was just thinking the other day, my husband bought me a beautiful ring. Guess what? I couldn't post it on social media because I don't feel like hearing y'all mouth talking about he didn't took the church money.
There you go.
My husband worked outside the church making more money traveling than he. But guess what? That's my business. I protect that. I protect this. I rock my ring. And guess what? As soon as I say hallelujah, y'all inbox me. Oh, you got a new ring? Yeah, I do. But I ain't have to. You gonna watch anyway. You gonna watch. So I don't have to post all that. I'm gonna protect this.
Go. Is your husband the pastor? Is your husband the pastor?
Can I say something?
My husband is a pastor.
Right. And you know what?
To say what?
Go ahead.
What Pastor D
But that's what I'm saying. If you don't protect in your dating, you don't just get married and suddenly learn that. And so I love what you guys are saying, because the singles would get this in the dating. It's a mentality check. And especially you all talking about dating boss people. I ask singles, why are you dating them? Like, why? Like, are you caught up in his status, or do you really know the weight of what that means? Can you carry the weight of who he is? And just for the man and the woman, because it could be both ways. Yeah. But can you carry the weight of that boss? And then can he carry yours? Because a lot of times it's going to be a give and take of carrying that weight. And so if singles learn how to do that in their singleness, they'll be so far ahead. But you got to protect this. You got to protect this.
And why do we need constant public validation of what's going on in our lives? Like that's a problem. Like, stop needing other people. You want to post so other people will know, oh, they're with somebody, or oh, they look cute, or that's her. Like, why? Stop needing public validation for what's going on in your life. If you're happy, if you're satisfied, let that be what it is. And stop looking for this other, because it's a principle. So if you set up a standard where when you set up a standard that you need other people to validate what's going on with you, you then will live your life based on the need for validation from people. And there's going to come a time where they're not going to validate you. There's going to come a time where they're not going to agree. They're not. And so then you're going to open yourself up in your life to unnecessary scrutiny. That's why I tell people all the time, I don't let their praises go to my head, and I'll let their criticism go to my heart. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Like
you got another message. You got another message.
I'm getting ready to preach that, brother.
I don't need you in my business like that. And yes, people want to know. Yes, people are interested. They will. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? I'm serving Jesus and living healthy. That's all you need to know.
Yep. Amen to that. All right. Last comment. What were you saying, Meshach?
I said I'm happy with Jesus alone.
Yeah.
Mr.
Come
Jack,
on.
you a mess. Pastor.
Listen, Shaq is my new friend. Shaq is my new friend.
We'll know all about it.
But that's y'all need to help. Y'all need to help these singles talk about all they need is Jesus. That's a whole nother.
Listen,
They don't want to hear all that.
yes.
Saying what? These singles what?
They don't want to hear all that.
They're saying
need to-
all they need is Jesus.
No, let's deal with the singles they're talking about. They don't need no man because Jesus is
That's
their
what I'm
husband
saying.
with them at night.
That's an episode.
the
That's an
feeling.
episode right there, Pastor Juanita.
Yeah, Pastor Juanita, that's
We're gonna
definitely
talk about it.
That's a lie.
Well, these single women talking about they got pregnant and they didn't have no sex.
Oh,
Dr. Mercer, you need to go back to dinner.
Oh, my.
You need to go.
Dr. Mercer,
that note,
Dr. Mercer,
that
the beach is
part.
called.
Their womb was touched, but it wasn't touched by Jesus. It was another man
Wasn't
that
touched
touched.
by Jesus. And it
I'm
wasn't
like,
oral
what?
sex either.
What? Now y'all be
It was actual sex.
That was actual sex.
that was actual sex. Intercourse.
Right, sex. You know, the real sex.
Not the fake sex. The real sex.
right.
Oh, God.
On that note, it was a great show. We're definitely gonna do it again. I'll have Jay get in touch with all of you guys. We can plan on doing it again sometime soon. All right.
Sounds good.
All
It
right,
was nice
thank you.
meeting all of
Bye.
you.
Nice meeting
Yeah,
y'all.
same.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Peace. Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
Bye.